Mike's a crappy appy.
Yeah, exactly. Mike says that all the time. All right, let's get into the mailbag.
My motto.
Mailbag.
Nobody likes a crappy appy. But if you do, cover them with me. All right, never mind. Tony in Houston has a trade question. Ironic that this is the first one on my list. Okay, would he trade Matt Forte for Todd Gurley? So kind of a piggyback.
In a keeper league.
Yes. In a keeper league, I would do exactly what Andy said.
I would do it no matter what.
I would too, but I'm always trying to get, the most you can. In a keeper league, maybe you can get a little pick swap in your favor or something like that, or some guy coming back. But I would rather have Gurley going forward.
Do you agree, Mike?
Oh, yeah. Especially in a keeper league, you absolutely do this.
Are you going after Gurley in any of your leagues, trade-wise? Specifically ones I'm involved in?
No, I have not made any offers because I know what it will take to. I know what the owner will require.
Well, and we're in a keeper league too.
And he is correct because I have gone after him in 2 of our 3 main leagues, and I have been denied.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right, Joseph, in Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh no.
You can get my
Dang
album.
it.
It's
I
coming
wanted
out
to
soon.
just keep going.
Oh no.
Is that the jointhefoot.com reward that's coming up? Your album?
Yeah, my album.
Mike does a
dropping.
guitar ballad. Jason does a solo to some song we pick.
Yeah.
The Foot Clan picks a song. Jason sings it.
Let's move.
Mike
it
drops the
along
back. Oh no, I'm putting it together. All right. His question, Joseph. I got lost. Week 6 PPR league. C.J. Anderson, Ronnie Hillman.
Well, Ronnie Hillman tweaked his hamstring as we talked about yesterday, so that is a situation to monitor. The correct answer is neither. you burn the Broncos backfield to the ground, but if you have to go with one in PPR, even if both are playing, it's still C.J. Anderson. He's the one who's getting the catches.
You know what's frustrating about this running game?
Everything.
That is the correct answer. I can't help but think that the Noshawn Moreno days were so much better because of the fight of Moreno against this offensive line situation that's happening right now. You just don't see that. I don't know. My eyes tell me neither of these guys are fighting for the extra yard. I don't know. There's nothing going on there.
I think the league is much better when Noshawn is playing. It's sad that he's not around this year.
We used to have a segment called the Noshawn Moreno Smart Play of the Week because of how Moreno came out of nowhere and ran hard. He wasn't elite laterally. He wasn't elite speed. He just ran hard. It's like Ahmad Bradshaw does.
He's got heart.
He does. All right, Ryan in Cleveland wants to know, with Vic and Antonio Brown seemingly not clicking, which I agree, 2 weeks, is it a safe bet to sit Antonio Brown until Big Ben comes back?
No way. No way in the world would you sit
But
Antonio
don't you normally sit the best receivers in the league?
No, because look, even in his 2 bad games where he didn't perform, he still performed better than what you're normally going to have in your last option that then needs to come into the game. It's not like he was.
Yeah, but what if you're deciding between Larry Fitzgerald and Antonio Brown this week?
Well, sure. Okay.
Let me ask you, who would you start?
I would start Larry Fitzgerald over Antonio Brown.
Ask about. So Ryan has John Brown or Willie Snead. The need for Snead.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
Without a question. You know what you're going to feel like when you play Willie Snead and he puts up a 3 and Antonio Brown has a normal game?
Yeah.
You're going to feel like crap, Mike.
Antonio Brown can run a punt back for a touchdown. He didn't have that many targets, but he still had that one play where he broke it for 30 or 40 yards, this week. So Antonio Brown, he's too gifted of a player to sit for average guys.
And Big Ben will be back in a week or 2.
It's either this week or it's either week 6 or week 8 because I believe they're on
bye.
bye.
It's bye week 7.
Yeah.
All right, Brad in Arkansas. What didn't Jason pronounce that a while back, or was
Something
it me
about
that mispronounced
Arkansas?
it? That's what it was. Arkansas. Oh, delicious.
Delicious.
Should I start Jonathan Stewart, Dante Moncrief, or Thomas Rawls in week 6 in my flex position? PPR.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that Marshawn Lynch will be back, so Rawls is relegated to the 3rd back, in my opinion, so he would be out. Jonathan Stewart, I believe, has a terrible matchup against Seattle, and Andrew Luck should be back. So I am starting Dante Moncrief.
That That's tough. I'm just stuck between Stewart and Moncrief because my subconscious fantasy player says start the running back who gets the guaranteed workload.
No, your subconscious is telling you, I hate Dante Moncrief. I will never believe in Dante Moncrief.
Which is foolish and stupid, both.
Based on last game?
No, not based on last game when they had Matt Hasselbeck throwing the ball to Andre Johnson back in Houston.
All right. 90 yards for Moncrief. You want to make the bet?
No. 90? That's like a wide receiver 1 numbers. We're not saying he's a wide receiver 1.
So give me a Moncrief bet because I just have to make it.
65.
Yards?
Moncrief?
Yeah.
No, let's just make it fantasy related.
Moncrief Jace do this question.
I'm not confident enough in Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart could lose this bet and Moncrief could score 2.
Yeah.
So top 24 in fantasy? You said that was 1 numbers. I'm giving you top 2?
I'll take it.
Oh, all right. There you go. You hopped in.
Water bet.
Jason was figuring out how you could turn that 24 into like a top 5. All right. Kevin in Tulsa wants to know, would you start Lamar Miller or Antonio Andrews? And Kevin, before we answer this specific, answer that question, but talk about Lamar Miller as a whole.
So Lamar Miller is a guy to me. I've been sitting on my bench in a couple different leagues. And
You've been sitting on your bench?
I have been sitting him on my bench.
How do you sit on your own bench?
So here's what the reality is about Lamar Miller. He's the number 1 running back for a team that should be good, who has been terrible. But not only have they been terrible, they've actually had a really bad run of matchups. I believe they played the Buffalo Bills back-to-back weeks with the Jets, and we knew that he was going to be bad. Plus, he wasn't used. So out goes Philbin, and in comes a new coach that wants to change things. There's only one way you could change something on the offense, and that's to not throw the ball every single time. Now, we don't know that that's going to happen. Bill Lazor is still the offensive coordinator. That didn't change, but I do expect Lamar Miller to get more involved this week. He's going up against the Tennessee Titans, which is, not the worst, but also not the best. And so I like Lamar Miller this week as probably an RB2.
I don't disagree with you at all, and I'm choosing to take the approach that Miller. People are going to go out and they spent a bunch of money on West,
on Charizard,
Charizard West or Davis, and you go spend the big money on Fab. But why wouldn't you be looking at the opportunity of Lamar Miller to improve if he's the guy?
Well, how about this then?
I'd rather have Lamar Miller than West.
I was just going to say you pick up Charmander West and you trade him for Lamar Miller.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have that shiny beacon of hope that rests on West's shoulders, and that is very far away from Miller at the moment.
Would you start Lamar Miller over Antonio Andrews?
Yes.
Andrews had like no carries basically, but
and
he
scored.
He caught a pass.
100%. That's not even close to me. Lamar Miller for sure over Antonio Andrews.